Aloha. Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Wilhelm, and I'm the founder of the brand Moms Have This to Say. It's a brand for moms, about moms, by a mom, me. And today, I have one of the coolest, best women around, who happens to be my cousin, first cousin, and a very accomplished young lady, by the way. So she is the founder of Endometriosis Foundation of Kenya and the co-chair of the World Endometriosis Organization. I mean, she's major.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel honored and sitting next to you also and doing this recording. This is amazing.
Okay. So tell us about what you do and how you got to this.
So my name is Elsie Wandera. 45 this year.
Mm-hmm. Isn't she gorgeous, by the way? Stunning. Okay.
Yep, we age gracefully.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I started experiencing cramps because we're talking about my endometriosis journey in like when I was 16, when I was in high school, and it was crazy. I used to have bad cramps that would make me miss school. Things around socializing, just having a sense of normalcy, especially around my periods, was very foreign for me. The easiest way that I can describe it is like a hand grenade going off and, the shrapnel just being left in there. Ouch. So it was like a really, really nasty time. And it used to be when I was on my period, or even when I was cramping, I could literally feel like the egg moving. And that for me then became an indicator that something was wrong. But it took me a long time to diagnose it. As you know, especially in our context, we've normalized period pain, right? So I remember even my mom, your aunt, used to tell me like, it's okay, you'll be fine. When you get pregnant and have a baby, the pain will go away, because it happened to her as well. So she was just, she's just giving me the assurance that she knew and understood and, grew up knowing. So, I mean, that's our context. And some of our cousins, female cousins also suffer with the same. So endometriosis, if you have anyone in your family, the likelihood of another female member of the family having it is quite high. So that is, that's it. And now I think growing up, it was tough explaining to my schoolmates, like, because they couldn't understand, what do you mean?
What do you mean shopping?
Yeah,
what do you mean? And then missing school.
Yeah,
too.
You're cramping. So are you trying to paper school? To miss out on school activities or something? So so that was pretty much my history. And I thought it was normal for a very long time. But I think by the age of 26, that's when I was just like, we have to seek attention, because, I was spending a lot of time in the ER, in hospitals, medicating sometimes, self-medicating, just to manage the pain, anticipating for the pain.
Wow.
So people didn't understand what I was going through at the workplace. My female colleagues or even my female bosses. I remember one asked me, like, what kind of pain are you going through that other women don't go through? So it's almost like, and that felt like,
not to understand.
Yeah. And I can understand. Now I understand. And I'm like, hey, it's okay. Now I cut them a break, because I know that if you do not understand, or you've never gone through the pain, then you'll never know what this is. So at 26 was the first time I was diagnosed with endometriosis, and they went in laparoscopically, because that's a very good method to get you to know, like, you actually have endometriosis.
Wow. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, especially high school. High school is hard, and you missing school. I mean, and everyone going like, she just wants to miss school. And teachers can be rude too. They're like, everyone here is a girl, and everyone here is going through the same thing. Come to school. So Elsie, for my audience who don't understand, what exactly is endometriosis?
It's a very good and important question because we don't want to leave it at just like people thinking like it's a bad period. It's not just a bad period. So it is a condition where the tissue that is inside, that is similar to the one that is inside the uterus, so the lining of the uterus, the one that we shed every month.
Yes.
So think about the cycle of a woman. So tissue like that is similar to that one finds itself outside the uterus and anywhere. I mean,
wow.
Anywhere. It could end up on the brain. Yeah, it could end up in your lungs. Could end up in your bowel, your intestines. It could end up in your pelvic area, in your bladder, anywhere. So it's a whole body disease. That's why I know the ecosystem does not want to limit it to like a discussion around your reproductive health, because it is, you can't limit, it's a whole body disease. It affects, like for example, if it presents itself in your lungs, you can experience a lung collapse. And that means it's no longer a gynecologist who's also treating you, but also a thoracic surgeon. To help you understand why it is so painful is, and I understood this for myself, like when I was just trying to understand what I'm going through. And the uterus, by the way, is that size. Did you know? Like it's so small.
I didn't know.
And then it's just a terrorist, this thing.
So what?
Like you feel like it's like a big ball of something. But it's just this size. So whenever, the uterus was the only organ that was designed to do that shedding of the lining of the uterus every month, because when it wants to have a baby, your ovulation happens, it goes, if there's no activity, it sheds. If it finds itself anywhere else, so imagine with me, it is doing the same thing. So like through the 28-day cycle, then it wants to bleed. So wherever that lesion is, it is trying to bleed. It is going to be excruciating.
Yes.
Because, like I said, there's some level of discomfort, of course, when you're, when that shredding of the skin and there's rather the shedding of the lining is happening. Of course, there's some discomfort, but not the one that makes you now miss school, that impacts basically your productivity. If you're experiencing pain that begins to eat into your productivity, your ability to just function, because pain, we have pain on a spectrum, but the pain that actually takes you now to the ER, places like those, it's important that women seek medical assistance.
Thank you for that. I didn't even understand that part of it. I just was like, it's a lot of pain, extremely painful, and it's not normal pain.
Yeah, it is. And we shouldn't normalize pain. Like, like when your friend, you can see your sister is suffering and just tell her like, oh, just chill.
Okay.
We'll give you like a hot water bottle and stuff like that, Panadol. No, just let her go to hospital.
Advil.
Yeah.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. How do you feel endometriosis?
It's a mouthful.
Such a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Endo. And you can just say endo.
Yeah, I'll just say endo. How do you feel endo has changed your life?
Wow, that's just such a heavy question. Because when I think about it, it has been my whole life.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, from the minute I started my period.
That's how it's been.
That's how it's been.
So you've never had those periods that are just low-key?
I don't know what normal periods are. Like, they just show up and it's like, hey, no, I don't know. I've never known peace. Sex was painful.
Of course.
That was a symptom, but sad. I used to think that was normal, and that would mean like, you have like a guy who's like,
No.
It's like
you get. It's not supposed to be painful.
I didn't know.
Sorry.
And so that has like also been my normal. It affected my fertility because 4 surgeries later, I lost both my ovaries. So the chance at conception just went out of the window for me.
That is, wow.
Yeah, make me cry.
I know, that's tough.
It is, and endometriosis just feels like, made me feel like my life was just very tough, and it was like fighting for everything.
Yeah,
fighting to be believed.
Yeah,
you know,
especially
fighting
when you're younger.
Yeah,
Before people knew what endometriosis is. What do you mean you're feeling pain?
Yeah.
See, everyone else feels pain when that's people's idea. Everyone else feels pain when they're on their period. I mean, like, the endo is serious. The point where you lost your ovaries, that means like they were dangerous to you.
Yeah. And that's why I think that dismissal, when you think about the healthcare system, even like from the minute you enter the hospital, from triage, if the nurse does not believe you, then it's definitely a reflection of the entire healthcare system and the people that you will meet now along the way. If the nurse doesn't believe you, what makes you think the doctor will believe you?
That's
so
true.
There was many times I would go to the ER and it would take such a long time before I got the attention, you know, of the nurses or of the doctors, you know, just to get the pain medication. So it made me also believe that pain was going to be a part of my journey and my life. And so, and I say this, and I don't know if it can be scientifically proven, but just going through pain so much in my life, I just started accepting even bad things from outside. You know, if it means bad treatment with friends or any relationships, like I could just accommodate a lot of
shenanigans.
Yeah. Which was like
character.
Yeah, it was that. And then also of course when I was married, it was difficult because I remember my friends who got married at the same time started getting children. And it was just before my wedding that the gynecologist had told me that my ovarian reserve levels were diminishing, and I was on the end of the spectrum when it came to like the ability to conceive naturally. So what that meant was IVF. Or maybe it would have to be an IVF. And you know, immediately she started spitting out like how much it was going to cost. I was just like, okay, I'm going to be locked out immediately. Oof. Because I don't think I could afford that. Secondly, I was also not going to go through all those jabs. Like, can you imagine? Like, I've been going through jabs already to manage my pain. Yes. And I'm like, now again. Like negative. So I talked to the guy and I was like, hey, you know, this is my reality. I hope that doesn't affect, you know, like what you think of me or how you see me or whether you want to get into this partnership for life. And he told me, he's like, yeah, no. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But I think, I don't know if that was a true reflection at the moment, because again, like later on, came to find out that apparently he desired children. Yeah. And of course I can't speak on his behalf. Saying, just putting it out there because, and that's the pressure that a lot of women within the endometriosis, who are going through endometriosis, that's a struggle. So do I tell this man that I have endometriosis? What if he associates me with the inability to not have children? And you know, in Africa, like having children is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I know. I mean, but in this day and age, by the way, having children does not define you as a woman. Okay? You're a woman. Having a child is just something extra. And by the way, there's people who vehemently do not want a child. They do not want children.
Okay.
And then there are those people who get children who did not want children, who mistreat their kids. In my head, I'm thinking, you shouldn't have had a child. That wasn't your dream to be a mom. And sometimes you can have a dream to be a mom, but then God changes your direction and you're satisfied with the direction that God has changed in your life. Having a child does not make a woman. a woman is a woman, with or without children.
I love that. Period.
Yes.
And we should be okay with that.
And you should be okay with that.
The society.
And by the way, for those people who always ask, oh, what about children? Where is your children? When I got married, into 4 years into the marriage is when I was able to conceive a child, and then I had a miscarriage. But do you know how many people asked me my first year, and I knew I had a problem, I had an issue because I had some sort of infertility issue. And you're asking a woman who can't have children, and I know in a way, not I couldn't have children, but it was a big struggle. It just stresses the person out. Stop asking those questions. Just accept the person the way they are. If they have a child, great. If they don't have a child, great. Don't ask, when are you having children? When are you having children? When are you getting married? It's questions that I'm like...
Unsolicited advice and questions and all of those things.
Yeah.
And they'll come back with telling you like, you know, oh, if you're trying to have babies, try this, try that, the other.
Yeah.
I'm like, but...
Anyway, but for me, I'm glad that you shared your story. Even for me, endometriosis.
Teary, man.
I love you. Endometriosis is such a hard thing to understand.
It is.
Hard concept and hard thing to understand. And for me, also, I learn a lot from you. Watching the videos you do and even talking to you. And you're a strong, amazing, beautiful woman. Yeah. And thank you. So proud of you. And she's a go-getter, by the way. So she started this foundation, Endometriosis Foundation of Kenya, and also is the co-chair of the World Endo Organization. So tell us about your journey to your foundation and being the co-chair. That's big. That's major.
And that's actually part of my life. And it's a perfect segue from where we left off. Yeah. So by the time I think I was going in for my second surgery, and I think, so my first surgery I was 26. Yeah. I was going in for my second surgery about when I was 34, 35, I can't remember. So that must have been 2015. Yeah. I was just fed up first because I remember when I was first diagnosed, that was when I learned the term endometriosis. And I was happy because I was like, oh my God, finally, this disease has a name. Yeah. This condition has a name. So secondly, it also helped me be able to have conversations, for example, with my HR, with my bosses, and feel like now they will take me seriously. Like I'm not faking it or pretend it. I'm not trying to get like an off day, right? Don't try to run away from work. Yeah. But it was legit. Yeah. So by the time I was going in for my second surgery, remember my first surgeon has told me immediately, he's like, Elsie, please try and get pregnant. Please prioritize getting pregnant. And I didn't know why, but I was 26. Yeah. I tried, I was trying, but it was the wrong time and I guess God didn't allow it, which is great. Now, the second surgery, I was seeing the gynecologist and she was also telling me, I think it's really important that you think about getting pregnant. But I couldn't understand, like, why is the only solution you're giving me getting pregnant? Yeah. I'm like, hey, is pregnancy some sort of dawa that we don't know about or medicine that we don't know about? And we know that endometriosis has no cure, right? So I started getting pissed off and I'm like, this is laziness this is the laziness that is being represented in the healthcare system. So I started doing research, trying to learn about like, what is this endometriosis? Are there any support groups for patients? Is there any cure? Like what's happening out there? And that's when I started seeing other advocacy groups in the global north, in high income countries. There were a few in, on this side of the world, which we call the global majority, that represents a global majority. And that's when I was like, hang on, I could start a foundation just to raise awareness about this issue, because I was imagining that there was a woman who was sitting in a corner in silence, struggling and thinking that this is normal. So that's how I started sharing my story online. And I think that's, if you remember the Facebook times, that's when I started sharing my stories. And everyone just kept telling me like, you're so brave. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why do you want
life?
Like, also, I'm like, why should we be comfortable with pain? Like, why? Like, I don't like pain. No. I honestly don't like pain. I don't enjoy, and that's why I guess everyone in my family used to know, like, when I was suffering. Like, I would call I'm just like, I'm dying, mom, you know. So that's how I started the foundation, and of course the work that we've been doing just to raise awareness, to improve the public's understanding of the condition, with a hope also to just participate in the global efforts, whether it's research, or any scientific work, whatever it is. That was really my dream. But I'll tell you now how I became your chair, and this was also linked to when I started the foundation. I found the World Endometriosis.
Because that, by the way, is a big deal. Okay.
So the World Endometriosis Society brings together all the stakeholders. I think with the overall goal of improving the care that is being provided to the women and girls who suffer with endometriosis, who are millions, by the way, in the millions around the world. Wow. So when I was reading about the World Endometriosis Society, I saw, like, you know, that they used to have these events every 2 years called Congress in different countries, where they would talk about the progress that is being made from a research perspective or whatever perspective. And I used to just look, I was like, one day I'll end up there. So, and then of course I saw that, you know, there's an affiliate organization called One Endometriosis Organization that had all these advocacy organizations. And I used to say, I don't know what it's going to take for me to one day join. So in 2019, as I'm minding my own business,
the go-getter,
you know, I was invited by the former chair and the former principal of the World Endometriosis Organizations to join the steering committee to represent Africa. Because I'll tell you this, in as much as first, you know, like first endometriosis is a very under-researched, under-funded space. Like, it's under everything. Like everything under is, endometriosis is under. That's sad. So and that's why there's no known cure, right? And because of that, we, you know, there's very little data about from an African perspective. So the prevalence, the number of women who are suffering in Africa is still understated. We don't know if we are part of the 200 million number that is out there globally. So the idea for me joining that global platform was to ensure that there's representation. So then I become the voice on behalf of the millions of women in Africa. I think about, you know, just all the millions, like the 65 millions of us. And it's such a huge thing, but I'm like, I stopped asking for permission, like, and trying to, like, question and second guess, like, whether I deserve to be on those platforms.
You do.
I do.
Yes.
I've worked hard.
You've worked really
hard. I've read.
Yes. You researched. I've
studied enough, and my lived experience is enough for me to bring to the table. And join a bunch of scientists, because what are the scientists and the researchers trying to figure out without me? And my voice is that much more important, and that's why I think I encourage the women who are out there. I mean, whatever you're going through, I don't think you should ever struggle to talk about it. And that's why I think I tell you how proud I am of you starting this platform, because I'm like, you don't know how your story is going to impact another woman.
Absolutely.
Or encourage a life. You have no idea. And so just cut out all those voices and just and go for it and talk about it and see where God will take you. It might not materialize and show up the way yours and mine are showing up, but I'm sure something will happen. Yes. You will make a difference.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I mean, the chair thing, that's amazing. Being a co-chair of the World
Endometriosis
organization. Yeah. It only goes to show how you've impacted a lot of people, and someone saw you and was like, yeah, I need to talk to that lady. I need to talk to her. And what does a single woman, or rather, how does a single woman, because you're single right now.
I am.
All right. Any guys who are watching who are not single, this pretty princess right here is single. I know some guys watch my stuff, you know. They've come across and they're like, "Ooh, what is this?" Yeah, there's a beautiful princess right here, and if y'all, you know, don't know about her, she's over here. Give me a shout. I'll get in touch. I'll get in touch. Yeah. How do you encourage yourself through this? Because this is tough stuff. It's beautiful.
It is.
That God gave this strong lady this, because it's just a testimony and stuff like that. But how do you encourage yourself? Or is it being around really cool people?
Like yourself, like being on this platform, you know. It is. It's being around people like you who, one, remind me that my worth is not in just being a mom or a wife, someone's partner, because we're more than that.
Absolutely.
I, you know, I'm the head of people and events.
You're in charge.
You know, this organization called Brands on a Mission.
Wow.
I've worked with some of the great companies in this world. I mean, like, when you think about it, I've had such an incredible career. I've had such, like, I've enjoyed life.
Yeah.
You know?
She travels a lot.
Yeah, I travel a lot. You know, so I couldn't have it any other way. I don't know if I imagine my life any other way. However, when it gets tough, I think I told you when I was diagnosed with depression.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the journey of losing my ovaries, because do you understand, like, how important those organs are? So everyone who's thinking, you know, just remove my ovaries, remove my uterus to take away the pain, something else, it will trigger something else.
Absolutely.
And so there's a role for every organ that is in our body. So I didn't know how important estrogen was in terms of keeping me happy. We learned this in biology, but I think you just forget about it until when it is removed. Then that's when I started experiencing the sadness, and I was like, there's something going on. My gynecologist is really great, and he was able to just identify it and said, I think you're depressed. And that's when he got me on medication. So that helped.
Yeah.
Therapy helps.
Therapy is great.
No apologies for that.
Yeah.
When I feel like life is getting tough, I have an amazing team, like, of therapists that I can actually reach out to.
Yeah.
The other thing that is really, really fantastic, I have some dear friends around me who allow me, and like even through yourselves, like my family, you guys allow me to mother your children, right? So your kids call me mom, you know, like, and it has never, it doesn't, like, I can't describe the joy. Like, you know, like, I'll have the opportunity to hang out with them. They'll either come over, sleep over. That then gives me an opportunity to just be a mom for a time.
Yeah.
There's some who are grown up and they're adults. Having, like, being not, I mean, yes, your auntie, but your auntie mom.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's
the
so
kids
cool.
Love you.
Yeah, they'll call, they'll be like, hey, they'll give me updates. Aww. You know, we'll be talking privately. So sometimes when I tell, like, my best friend, like, I'm talking privately to your son or your daughter, she's like, yeah, whatever.
What did she say?
And I'm like, are you jealous?
Yeah.
But, you know, and that, remember how we grew up? You know, like, our parents used to take us to each other's houses, you know.
Well, either we're Auntie Sarah's house, which is
Auntie Sylvia's,
Auntie Esther's.
Yeah, we've gone to Uncle Robert's or something. Yeah. We would, and that's how, like, we grew up. We grew up in a community, and I think that's for me, like, I'm trying to,
when I live on the island, I do miss community. Yeah. I won't even lie.
Yeah.
Like, I miss home sometimes because of community.
I can understand.
But kids are great, but they're too much. They can be too much. Sorry, Mom.
You said it.
They're great. But once in a while, I ever sat down and you're like, I love this little kid. But I also kind of miss, I can't wait for them to go to sleep. So I can have me time. So
I understand.
With with your journey, have you ever considered adoption? Has that ever been a consideration?
Mm-hmm. That was actually a big part of the conversation with my former partner. Because we were thinking like, okay, fine, if it doesn't materialize like through natural conception, I would consider adoption. And even when I was young, I remember I used to think about it. Like I would say like, hey, I can have my own kids, but I think I'll adopt like one kid, you know?
Yeah.
And for endo warriors, I think now I understand why they kept telling us, you know, like get pregnant. Because when they're doing the surgery and they're excising, it eats into your ovarian reserve. And remember, as women, we're losing eggs the older we grow, right? So I would encourage anyone who, again, we're not like motherhood. Like if I don't conceive naturally, there's something wrong with me. You have options.
Yeah, there's many options.
Preserve your eggs before you start the surgery.
Yeah.
And that's an important conversation to have with your gynecologist or a fertility expert. Consider surrogacy. Consider adoption. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You're still a mother.
Yes. And I've met amazing adoptive parents who have had amazing families.
Yeah.
So I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But do you want kids in the future?
Girl, I'm done. 45, my back, my knees. And then, oh my God, no. That screaming match and then the cost of diapers today.
Babysitting, I don't know.
No, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, and then I've already suffered enough. I'm like, no, like now I want to, now I think it's I just want to just, I want to do, I know it's me time now, right? Just take care of me. I'm anti-mom, that's still cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's for now. If the Lord doesn't change my heart for now, I'm okay without kids.
And again, you guys, being a mom is not a trophy.
Yeah.
Okay. You can be an amazing single person without a mom. You can be married. I mean, without children. You can be married and not have children because you decided not to. So having a child is not a trophy, as some people think. But being a mom is cool for me. But for somebody else, it's not that cool. Being a mom is not being a woman. Being a woman without children is being a woman. Okay. Being a woman with children is being a woman. And those people who judge people who don't want kids, who really do not want kids, check yourself. Okay. Because children are not a trophy. What's something you'd like to leave people with?
Just your life does not have to be destroyed, or your dreams do not have to be taken away or robbed because of a condition or an issue in life. I think there's an opportunity to turn pain into purpose, whatever it is in life, that power. There's a solution under the sun for anything you're going through. So ask for help, reach out. I think we'll put some of my information in the description so that if you want to be part of community, we've got a peer support group. If you want to be part of it, you can join. Or if you just want to chat, I'm here, I'm available. But just to encourage people, like, do not allow your situation to rob you of your dreams and your future, because God created you for a reason.
Yep.
And do not let that go to waste just because of these issues. Yeah. That's it.
And by the way, I was just going to ask you, how can people reach you?
Oh,
that is very, very important.
Yeah. So we're on socials. Our for endometriosis, for the organization, it's just Endometriosis Foundation of Kenya. For me personally, I'm on Instagram, Elsie, I think _Wandera, and Elsie Wandera on any other platform, whether it's LinkedIn, any other platform, like it's just Elsie Wandera.
Right. We're gonna link all her information on this video, and you guys can be able to reach Elsie. Elsie, thank you so much for hanging out with your cousin,
Thank you.
and for just talking to the moms out there, because I'm sure there's some moms who don't even know what endometriosis is.
Yeah.
Just like me, always learning about it and just watching you. You're such a warrior. Big things for you in the future.
Thank you,
I
babe.
just believe you'll end up being the chair of many, many, many organizations out
Thank
there.
you.
And keep inspiring young women, keep inspiring women, keep inspiring me and the family.
Yeah.
So I'll leave her information on this video, and please reach out to her, reach out to her organization, support her organization in ways that the organization needs supporting. And thank you again.
Thank you, honey.
Mahalo. Bye.
Ciao.